Hello Minecrafters, Arctic Shark Games here coming at you with another Minecraft Bedrock Edition command tutorial. Today's tutorial is going to be on secret blocks, not obtainable through survival or the normal creative mode, otherwise known as admin blocks. All the blocks that we're going to be talking about today are going to be blocks that you can't get normally through the crafting menu or the creative grid here. These are things that you're going to have to give yourself either through a give command or a set block or fill command. There is quite a few blocks to go through today, so without further ado, we'll go ahead and jump right into it. If you guys like this video, please go ahead and throw a like on it, as well as subscribe over here at Arctic Shark Games. So the first set of blocks here that I'd like to go over are some of my personal favorites. It's the command blocks, and there's three different types of command blocks. You got your command block, your chain command block, and your repeat command block. And these three types of command blocks can actually all be obtained in theory through the same command, or you can also give yourself a chain underscore command block or a repeat underscore command block, but I prefer to just give myself the normal command block. So real quick, we'll go here in the chat command menu, go /give at self, and then it's command underscore block, and then you can hit enter and you'll give yourself a command block. And there's a lot of different stuff that, in the command block menus, but just a quick breakdown of it here. You have a little cheating menu telling yourself what the at symbols mean: at self, at P, at R, at A, at E. You have a previous outfit toggle switch to show the previous command that you've ran, as well as this area here is where you'd enter the command. There's a hover note, as well as you can change the block type, and you can set a tick delay. If you wanted to give yourself a chain command block, you would switch this to chain. If you wanted to give yourself a repeat command block, you would switch this to repeat. I have another video that's called Intro to Command Blocks, which I'll link up in the top of the description here, and that video is a little bit more in depth about the basics of command blocks. Let's move right on to the next block type here, which is a command block in a minecart. So to give yourself that, we'll go in the chat here and we'll go /give at self command block minecart, and now we have a command block minecart. These can only be placed down on top of rails. So if we give ourselves a rail here through the creative grid, we can go ahead and place one of these guys down. And the command block minecart can be pushed around like a normal minecart, as you can see, and you can't switch the type of command block in the minecart. It's always a repeat unconditional needs redstone, and you can go ahead and change the command and the output as normal. Moving down the line here, the next set of secret blocks rather that we are going over today is the allow block and then the deny block, and they do exactly what they sound like they do. If you deny an area, players that are in adventure mode or survival mode can't place down blocks and they can't break blocks. If you put an allow block on top of a deny block, they can put down blocks and place blocks. So if I give myself a few different types of random blocks here, and then we go ahead and we put my guy into game mode S for game mode survival, and then you can see that I can't place down these blocks. I'm trying right here. I can't place down blocks on top of the deny blocks, but I can place down a block on top of the allow block, and I can also break the block on top of the allow block, which is taking forever with my hand here, but there we go, we broke it. And then if we put ourselves into creative mode, anyone in creative mode can break blocks on top of them, and they can place blocks on top of them. And those are great little blocks to kind of make areas at spawn or admin areas and stuff like that impenetrable. If we put a couple of deny blocks, say, underneath this wall, then I would not be able to break through this wall, and this wall would all of a sudden be an invincible wall, similar to Bedrock. So the next block that I'd like to go over here is the light block, and light blocks come in a few different settings. When you're holding a light block, you can actually see light blocks that you previously put down. So we'll go ahead and give ourselves a light block here. We'll go give at self light block. And when you're holding a light block, you can see the previous light blocks that you put down. When you're not holding a light block, you can't see them. The light block can be toggled with the second trigger, and you can go ahead and change the light mode all the way up to 15. I find it very annoying to place down light blocks all the way up to 15 like that, so instead, if you want to give yourself an already lit light block, is what I recommend. You give at self light block, and we'll give one light block to me, and we'll put it on a block type of 15. and we should see that now I have a light block. It was already in my inventory there actually, but I have light blocks that you can place down directly at level 15 rather than toggling all the way through the light levels. Light blocks are great to light up dark areas, and you can't see the lights and kind of keep things clean builds without having to use a bunch of different light sources. The next one coming up is the barrier block. Barrier blocks are another one of those block types that you can't see unless you're holding them. They're a red cross symbol, and they're basically like an invisible, indestructible wall. So you can see that I can't run through these. Even in creative mode, I can't get through them, but you can break them in creative mode. So only players in adventure mode and survival mode will be affected by the barrier blocks. It'll just stop people from walking if they're in creative mode. The next one is a border block, which is similar to a barrier block, except for the border block is a visible block. And when you put a border block down, it makes this red little dust here as well. And a border block, players in adventure mode or survival mode will not be able to get over the block, or they will not be able to dig under the block. They won't be able to place blocks on top of the block. They won't be able to throw items under the block. They won't be able to do any of that kind of stuff there. They only thing that this thing can do is it does allow players in creative mode to go through, above or underneath it. So real quick, we'll put my guy in survival mode, and you can see that I can't get here underneath this block. I can't break the block, none of that kind of stuff. So we'll put myself back into creative mode here, and we'll block up my little dangerous hole so I don't fall in it. The next one we're going to go over is going to be structure blocks. Structure blocks are a block that is used to save different structures in the world, as well as you can load different structures in the world. So you can see it pops up with a bounding box. If we take a structure block out here into this field, you can see that we can copy some random stuff that I'm making here. We'll make this little square here, and we start a structure block off in save mode, and you can change the size of the structure block as well as the offset of the structure block. You can decide whether or not you're going to include entities, if you're going to remove the blocks that are in it, and then you can save it in memory, or you can save it to disk if you're on a computer, and you can turn off whether or not you're showing the boundary box. Then right here you can type in a structure name. We'll name this one all lowercase grass, and then if you want you can hit detect and it'll show changes in here on the actual photo. And then if we go ahead and we take another structure block and we put it over here, actually I forgot to hit save, so once we hit the name of the structure, we'll hit save. It says structure saved. Then we'll come over here and we'll hit load, and we'll go ahead and put the same structure name, grass, and then you can see load. It loaded the same little grass square. I'll do a separate video at some point, and when I do, I'll link it up in the top here as well as in the description for structure blocks. The next block coming up, the secret block, are called structure voids, and structure voids have a couple of uses. They're basically just a lack of block, and no other block is allowed to fill up their space. So in here you can see I have this mysterious floating water column. It's surrounded by structure voids. Structure voids, when you hold the structure void, you can see them just like the other ones there. You can actually pass through them. Entities can pass through them, but blocks cannot. So one thing you can do is you can make water elevators that don't have any blocks surrounding them, that just appear floating, or lava columns and stuff like that. Another thing you can do is you can put structure voids into these structure block areas inside the boundary box, and you can see that if I put a few pieces of dirt up in the same location that I put those structure voids, and then we go ahead and save this new version of the structure, and we load this new version of the structure, it kept the dirt blocks that I put there, so it did not load the structure of air into that area there. So that's one more use for the structure voids. And then moving down the line here is a jigsaw block. Jigsaw blocks are one of the most complicated blocks. All these last few blocks you can give yourself, give at self structure underscore block, give at self structure underscore void, give at self jigsaw. So we'll just type that in here because I forgot to do that. So give self structure, and you can see that those two pop up, structure underscore block, structure underscore void, and then you can go give at self jigsaw, And then the Jigsaw block is a block that's used in the generation of Minecraft structures, such as Minecraft villages and stuff. I'm not really going to get too deep into this, but you can go over here and you can put down the Jigsaw block, and you can see that it has a few different things target pool, name, target name turns into. So basically what you're doing is you're targeting a file folder, so you can go Minecraft village plains bio, for the plains village, and then we'll target a street, and then you can get into a lot of different details. This could help you generate similar to pre-generated villages, and there's a lot of good videos out there if you guys are interested in the Jigsaw block. I recommend using that on a test world for sure. Now we have a couple of funky blocks here at the end. These aren't necessarily admin blocks, but they are sort of quote-unquote secret blocks. And this one here is called an unknown block, and you can see that it's just a dirt block with some vine-looking things on here that say update. And this block here is not obtainable in the crafting menu, and it's also not obtainable even through the give command. The way to give yourself this one is to go ahead and use setblock. So we'll go setblock tilde, and then we'll write unknown. This is something that would pop up in your world if a texture pack or an update pack, mod pack type of thing failed to load. And then after you have the block in here, you can go ahead and pick block it to give yourself an unknown block. Another type of unknown thing a lot of people don't realize is you can go ahead and you can give yourself NPCs as well. So you can go ahead and go summon. We'll go NPC as the entity type, and then we'll put our location, which is tilde, and an NPC will spawn to you. And if you pick block the NPC, you can give yourself an NPC spawn egg, and I would consider that one of the hidden admin blocks as well. And then you can put the NPCs down, you can edit a dialogue for them, and you can edit a command set for them. They can run up to 6 different series of commands. If we add these, they can be on button mode or when you enter or exit the conversation or all kinds of stuff like that. And there's lots of different NPCs that you can put skins on them with. There's a bunch of different kinds of them there. So that's NPCs, and a few of these random blocks here are just sort of blocks that you can set block into the world that you cannot give yourself as well. And you can set block a lit block of redstone ore or deep slate redstone ore, and it'll be lit even though no one's touched it. So you can go set block tilde, and we'll type in the word lit, and when you put lit underscore, you'll start to see a bunch of things pop up here under the word lit, and that's what this category is all about. You can give yourself a lit deep slate redstone ore or a lit redstone ore. Or they have furnaces and blast furnaces, pumpkins, redstone lamps, smokers, and you can do actually an unlit redstone torch as well. So the lit redstone ore is the one we're going to do. So we're going to do redstone ore, and that'll pop up in the world for you there. And you can see that they actually won't stay lit, just like it's does it right when you put it down for an instance. The actual furnaces and blast furnaces, when you put those into the world, will stay lit, as well as the pumpkin. But when you put down the lit ore, or when you put down the lit lamp, or when you put down the unlit redstone lamp, all those ones will not stay lit. So if we pay real good attention to the ground here when I place this one, and we go ahead and do set block tilde lit redstone lamp. Oops, spelled it wrong. Redstone lamp. When we place this down for like one tick, it will stay lit, and then it will realize that there's no redstone feeding it, and it will go back to a regular redstone lamp. So you can see it was lit for a tick there. So you can use that to summon in already lit redstone lamps, or you can use that also to summon in already unlit redstone torches. So you can go set block in tilde, and then it's unlit redstone torch, and then if you watch closely, it will be unlit for a second, and then it will update to be lit. So those are kind of interesting things that you can summon into the world that are already pre-lit. And then another interesting thing that you can summon in is a lava cauldron, quote unquote, that's actually not full of lava. So if you go ahead and set block that in, you can go ahead and go set block tilde 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 lava underscore cauldron. And then when you summon in the lava cauldron 0, it's not very full. So if we go ahead and summon in lava cauldron 5, you can see that it's full of this liquid that's supposedly lava, but the lava doesn't actually create a light source, which is kind of strange. But I figured I would include this one as well. And then another thing you can do is you can actually summon in a water source block or a lava source block that doesn't have any flowing. It's a stagnant water or a stagnant lava. It's not flowing and it won't flow to the block next to it. You can see that if I update the block next to these, they will flow, which then, you know, messes up the look of it. But you can go ahead and set block the water or set block the lava. As long as you don't update absolutely anything next to this block, it'll stay as that same look. So if we go set block water, it'll stay as water. And then if we go set block, same thing with lava. Set block tilde 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 lava. And then you can see that I set block lava as well. I think those look pretty cool. They're not very useful because you certainly could mess them up pretty easy if you put any block next to them. I would say if you wanted to look like that, you could put barrier blocks around them, or you could put structure voids around them if you wanted to make sure that you didn't have the lava breaking and flowing around like that. Well, thank you guys very much for watching. If you found this video helpful, go ahead and like and subscribe over here at Arctic Shark Games on YouTube and Arctic Shark Games on Twitch. And I'm going to go ahead and include in the description which one of these blocks will be give commands and which one of these blocks will be set commands, set block commands. Well, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe.